Hello and welcome back. Hope you're enjoying all this end of course exam practice and all these videos. I am here with part 2. Hello. Already starting off. Part 2 of our end of course exam review. And first benchmark we're going to look at solve literal equations for a specified variable. And these literal equations were when we were trying to get a specific variable by themselves, so it kind of looked like alphabet soup. Lots of variables. Before we do that, I'm going to give you, let's see, we have some clues for you in our secret message. We have the letter M is our next clue. And I have a shout out right here. This shout out says, that's a long one, says, extra shout out to Cherry for making 6th period funny and entertaining. 6 periods loves you, Cherry Berry. And this is same shout out to Cherry for being an awesome student. Shout out to Morales, I got your back, girl. Shout out to Alicia, Morgan, Brianna, Gabby, Kayla, Adrian, and Jordan for being my buddies. Shout out to Isaac for being my annoying brother. Someone wrote this a little fast, and I'm thankful you guys are in my life. Love you. Oh, that is cute. So thanks for that shout out. We'll have more of those later. And now back to the video. Alright, so we're solving literal equations. And literal equations generally have problems when they look like this. So there's all this stuff that you can read, and look at all this. There's all this. Basically what it boils down to is we have an equation and it says which of the following shows gross domestic product per capita formula solved for C. Okay, so we're just trying to get C by itself. Think of it like a variable party. C is the variable that no one wants to be around, so everyone wants to get away from them. Okay, if it wasn't clear in the last videos, what you should do before I do the problem is you should try to find an answer that you think it'll be. Okay, so like now would be a good time to hit pause so you can do the problem on your own. Okay, so hit pause, figure it out. I'll come back and talk about it. Alright, are you sure of that answer? Because here's what we need to do. Like I said, we need to solve for C, get C by itself. So in the equation, S equals C plus I plus G plus N plus P. I know this looks like a lot, but let's not be intimidated. If we want to get C by itself, okay, we're just going to do the opposite. This is all kind of grouped together in the top up here. So the first thing we want to undo is this dividing by P. The way we can do that, the opposite of dividing by P is multiplying by P. So that leaves us with SP is equal to, and here's a hua, C plus I plus G plus N. Is C by itself yet? Nope. So I'm going to subtract I, going to subtract G, I'm going to subtract N from both sides. Yes, I am subtracting, ing, subtracting, whatever. And when I get that, final answer would be C is equal to SP minus I minus N minus G, which looks like it would be, or PSSP. Answer choice C. Alright, quick brain break. Look at those cupcakes. Can you tell what they are? Those are Elmo cupcakes. It also makes a good moment to talk about our next clue, and that letter is R. So we have our next benchmark, and as you can see, these are kind of like all the things that are covered for the end of course exam. We're going to symbolically represent and solve multi-step and real-world applications that involve linear equations and inequalities. So the key word there is equations and inequalities, and if it's real-world applications, that just means it's a word problem. Alright, just like this, big word problem. So read. Okay, what is the question asking for? If X represents the total, and I'm going to focus in here, if X represents the total medical expenses of an employee on this plan, and X is greater than or equal to 500, Which one of the following equations can be used to determine the employee's total health care costs for that year? Alright, so this problem looks big and scary. Again, I want you to try it on your own, so hit pause and solve. Okay, so here's what I think. We want total cost in an equation. Well, the total cost is going to equal to count for this, this, and this. So how do we do that? Well, they all so far account for that 3,626. So then the question is, do we add 500 or do we subtract 500? Well, it says this is the amount of medical expenses employee pays. So this is going to add to the expenses. So automatically we know A and B are wrong. All right, so this is adding to the expenses. It also says that the employee will pay 20% after the first 500. So that first 500 has to get subtracted out. So our best answer choice is C. And when I was talking about subtracted out, I meant right in here. So X is the total expenses, take out 500 because it's already paid for here. Then we find 20% of that, which would be times 0.2. Okay, take a second and look at this one. C is our correct answer. C, if there's anything that you're not sure, pause, look at it, ask questions tomorrow. Alright, next question. Karen works as a salesperson for a local marketing company. Blah, 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 blah. Look at the question. Karen's total sales were greater than $5,000 in October. If her total monthly earnings for October were $3,000, what is the value of her total monthly sales? Another one. Looks bad. Pause. See if you can figure this one out. Alright. Hope you took some time to look at this. Now the key on this is this. Total monthly earnings for October were $3,000. So what that means is, because it says here that total sales were greater than, total sales were greater than 5,000, which means we need to use this equation and this equation. Okay, so we're going to use the big equation here. Total monthly earnings were 3,000. So we're going to take this, plug it in for E. So 3,000 equals 1,600 plus 0.1 S plus 0, okay, my handwriting's getting sloppy, 0.15 times S minus 5,000. Alright, so what the goal is, we want to try to solve for S. Okay, I think you guys kind of know what the first step is in a problem like this. We have numbers outside parentheses, we wha. Okay, need to make a little bit of room there, but if you distribute over here, we should get 3,000 equals 1,600 plus 0.1 S plus, I'm going to distribute that, so that'll give me 0.15 S, and if you distribute 0.15 S times 1,000, you get minus 750. Okay, I know it's sloppy. Just try to listen to what I'm saying. So these are like terms. We're going to combine those. These are also like terms, and I'm going to combine those. Alright, so if I do 1,600 minus 750, I get 850 for my numbers. Again, combining this and this. Make sure you don't forget that negative sign. And if I do 0.1 S plus, is that negative, 0.15 S, I'm going to have plus 0.25 S. That equals 3,000. Okay, and I want to get this variable right here by itself, so I'm going to subtract 850. Subtract 850. And that's going to give me 2150 is equal to 0.25 S. And our very last step, we're going to divide both sides by 0.25. And we get S is equal to 8,600. Of course, if you're gridding, 8600. Okay? So go back, let me pull back the question, check it out again. If you need to see the work, solving for variables, hit pause. Here's the question. Okay? So you might have problems like this. And again, it's about reading, trying to figure it out, but basically we're just solving equations. Moving on to our next benchmark, we're going to graph a line given any of the following information: table of values, x and y intercepts, 2 points, slope and a point, equation of a line in slope-intercept form, standard form, or point-slope form. Lots of linear stuff. Chapter 6. So that should be good. Let's go to our next shout out. Actually, I'll give you another clue too. In this one, we can do a clue. The letter is O. Okay, this is a shout out to my daughter and the best student I've ever had. This is from Lauren, and of course she says LMAO. At least that's what I think she said. She'll probably yell at me if it's incorrect. Anyways, that's a shout out. Okay, here's our first problem. Again, hit pause, try to solve it on your own, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, do you think you have your answer? All right, what I'm going to say is, since this equation is in standard form, let's do the cover-up. And that's the best way to graph this. If I want to find the x-intercept, I cover up the y. So I should have 5x equals 20. So if I have 5x equals 20, then I know my x-intercept is 4. So which one of these graphs has an x-intercept of 4? Well, on the x, I see this one is way out here at 10. This one's at 8, so wrong, wrong. This one's 4, this one's 4. Very good. So we're down to 2 answer choices. So now to find the y-intercept, we cover up the x. So 2.5y equals 20, and 2.5y equals 20. Just divide both sides by 2.5. I get y equals, let me use my calculator, 8. So which one has a y-intercept of 8? Only one problem, A. Did you get that right? Hope you did. Pause it if you need to look at what we did. Cover-up method, just graphing the equation. Ah, this is an awesome picture. That kid's really excited to be in that Superman outfit. Alright, so good luck with your EOC. I'm going to pause here and we're going to break. Hopefully I will see you on part 3 of our end of course exam video.